You made your opening statement. It's my turn.
Said in a minute.
Yeah. You gotta let Jay go.
Within a minute. I don't mean in a minute. I don't mean it in the black sense of it's been a minute. I don't mean it's been a minute. I mean in 1 minute. I can refute in 1 minute. That's what I mean.
And you're going to Zechariah 8:23?
Correct.
And it's going to say Jewish.
Correct. It's on the
I
screen.
have Zechariah 8:23 in front of me.
And it's on the screen. And it's on the screen right now.
Yeah. So let's get started. It's 7:06. The show's supposed to be started by now. So, yeah.
All right, well, I'm Captain Tazaryach of ISUBK. We teach that in North, Central, and South America that the original children of the book are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Now, of course, we're scattered across the four corners, so we are like in Africa, Europe, and stuff like that. We also teach that the people that claim to be Jewish are imposters. They are not the real Jewish people. According to the Bible, the term Jewish is not in the Old Testament. There are 12 tribes of Israel, so even when you use the term Jew, there's a context. Jew could be the southern kingdom, or a Jew could be the tribe of Judah. In some instances in the New Testament, it does encompass all of them, but you'll see different tribes. So we teach and break down who the actual Israelites are. Even the state of Israel was established by Zionist Jews, and if we have to, we can get into that history from the 90s or something when they established that, and they wasn't even looking for the state of Israel, the location that it's in. They was just looking for any place because Europeans didn't want them in the land no way. So that's our position, so to speak. And we do subscribe to the Old and New Testament. I always tell brothers and sisters if they're ever in a position politically where they got to answer a question, they can simply say they are a Messianic Jew. That'll help people understand the lens that we come from. So I yield with that.
And then boxing, do you kind of want to tell everyone what side you'll be arguing, and then I'm just going to let you guys go.
Yeah, I mean, there's I'm pretty sure that the majority of the context and the Bible references is almost like in the future tense. Like you refer to the Bible and then you essentially see things that occurred since, because it's a new religion, right? The establishment of the Black Hebrew Israelites is not that old, the actual sect of it, right? So you use the Bible as kind of a framework on things that occurred and connect pieces. I'm not an expert on the translation, but a lot of religious scholars, and they're not just Jews, people of Christian faith, have agreed that the translation technique that you guys use for certain words is wrong. That's one thing that I've definitely seen many of times. Again, I know a little bit of Hebrew. I'm not fluent, but that's a common thing I've said. And the other thing is that there's a lot of historical inaccuracies that you guys will touch upon. Like, for example, you guys somehow believe that, the unique oppression of Black and brown people then will, I guess, qualify you guys as the chosen people, which again is singular minded ultimately, because you're ignoring a lot of, historical oppressions of a specific group of people that you guys call the imposters, right? But kind of to go to my main, I guess, gripe or issue I have with you guys is that to me, your entire existence, what I've seen is that you are trying to essentially discredit other people by making your people a supreme people. In other words, you go around saying that you're the chosen people. And I will say this as someone who, I've seen it, but it's not a common thing. I do not go around telling anybody I'm the chosen person. It's kind of like an asshole move, overall speaking. Just, it's a dick move. But anyways, that's kind of my opening thoughts, I guess.
Well, if that's a dick move, right, and walking around chosen people, there's not a greater people that portray that type of attitude or concept than white people in general. When you talk about misplacing people, and, I speak broad, this conversation is mainly about Jewish people, but white people in general came to North America, and now they North American. They displaced all the Native Indians, put them on reservations. Y'all displaced the Palestinians because y'all claim to be the chosen people. Here's the biggest difference, and I'm going to use the word you use. When you say dick, the biggest dick would have to be y'all, because y'all murdered and displaced the Palestinians to establish a land that you don't have right to on the premise that y'all are chosen people, whereas Black people over here are just accessing their identity biblically. Biblically, every nation can be established in the Bible. So all we're doing is saying what we are. Y'all are not only saying what you are, you're killing people in the name of the people that you are. We ain't murdered nobody because of who we are, but y'all have. So if you want to swing a dick or some shit like that, or say it's obnoxious or whatever word you want to use, then Michael Jackson had this great song, you got to look at the man in the mirror. Even when you made up the point about, I'm sorry, you want to say something? Even when you bring a man in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, do I get to comment on the opening statements? I'm confused. I thought it was a three-way debate.
I thought we was in it now.
I just wanted to let the two I guess I'm going to say Jews, and I know y'all.
Yeah, because I thought Randy. Yeah, that's fine. However you want to say it, that's fine. I thought Randy said it was. Yeah, it was the Israelites. It was the real Israelites versus the imposter Israelites. I didn't think the Christians was in it yet. I didn't think the Christians are always in it. Christians are always in it. Go ahead.
All right, hold on. Why don't we have a three-way? I mean, I thought this. I agreed to a three-way debate. That's what I thought this was.
You can jump in whenever you want, but kind of the whole point of the debate is kind of based off the whole Jew.
Yeah, so don't come in here muddy and see that's white privilege. See, Randy, that's that white privilege.
Hold on, I want to. No, it's not. White privilege is not having equal response to you is not white privilege.
Because he know I'm right. That's that white privilege. Randy
for a three-way debate. It's a three-way debate.
Listen, wait, no, Randy.
Don't make me mute. Come on, Jay.
Yeah, I don't want you to mute. I just want to say this, Jay. Jay, I just want to.
I want an opening statement. The comments on what you said.
Jay, I don't have a problem with your speech. I just want to make this one point, and then you got it. This is the white privilege boxing that I was telling you about. Randy clearly said that this debate was between my side of Israelite and your side of Israelite. But white privilege won't let Jay be quiet and let us have the dialogue. But y'all got it. Y'all got it. Good. Get down.
I agreed to a three-way debate. That's why I'm here.
Jay, you are, like I said, I want you to jump in whenever you want. But the kind of whole I guess, how do I say this? Like the whole, I don't know the word, but like foundation of the debate is based on Jews and Hebrew Israelites.
Premise is a good point.
Yeah.
Right, and Orthodox Christians.
No, it's not. No, you're wrong. You're wrong, Jay, because it has to also include Christians, because they dispute Christians ultimately, because if they believe that Jews,
so you're here to give the Christian response to boxing.
Right, that's a three-way debate. So the Christian was.
Look, and listen, now the Jew. I told y'all brothers, Jay and boxing.
We are not.
Y'all are the same type of white man, because what boxing.
All you're doing is complaining because you can't handle a debate. Are you gonna debate or complain?
Okay, wait. When you say,
because I can refute everything you said in your opening statement and make you look silly. I'm gonna make you look silly right now. Okay?
But Jay, I'm gonna give you a gift. I'm gonna try to help you out.
You're not helping me out. Right? You don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna refute you in about a minute. You ready to be refuted in a minute? You said that Jew doesn't exist in the. You said Jew doesn't exist in the Old Testament. I'm gonna show you right here. The word Jew. You said the word Jew wasn't in the Old Testament. That's what you said.
I said Jewish. You simple.
It's right here. Zechariah 8:23. Zechariah 8:23.
No problem. So when I finish talking, you said you could do it in a minute, which means you would have to be quiet for 60 seconds.
You made your opening statement. It's my turn.
Said in a minute.
Yeah. You gotta let Jay go.
Within a minute. I don't mean in a minute. I don't mean it in the black sense of it's been a minute. I don't mean it's been a minute. I mean in 1 minute. I can refute in 1 minute. That's what I mean.
And you're going to Zechariah 8:23?
Correct.
And it's going to say Jewish.
Correct. It's on the screen.
I have Zechariah 8:23 in front of me.
And it's on the screen. And it's on the screen right now.
What version are you reading? What version of the Bible are you reading?
We can go to any version you want.
I'm in the King James Version, Zechariah 8:23. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take the hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take the hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you.
Did you know that when you said the word Judea, that's where the word Jew comes from? So you refuted yourself. In your opening statement, you said Judea in the Old Testament.
Randy, you gotta let us work this out. Randy, you gotta let us.
You just read the verse yourself and made yourself look dumb, dude.
Anybody listening? Okay, so Randy,
You said the word Jew is not in the Old Testament. You just read it.
I did not say Jew.
You did. Your opening statement. You said the word Jew is not in the Old Testament.
Did I say the word Jew or the word Jewish is not in the Old Testament?
You said Jewish.
It doesn't matter. It's
even
the New King James.
It does matter because your whole premise is to try to get a gotcha moment, and you just played yourself.
The word Jewish just means people of it. You're that dumb. You're that dumb. You think Jewish is not the same thing as Jew.
No, it's not, because in the New Testament, the word Jewish is in there. That's why I was specific. I do this.
You don't know anything about what you're talking about. The fact that you do this, you do this. I do that, but you do this. But I do that.
Yeah. You haven't even let him talk. You gotta let him talk.
Wait, he said I was lying. I just called him on his lie.
No, you don't even know that the word Jewish refers to Jews, people of that religion.
Oh my God, he said that the word Jewish is in the Old Testament. Brought us to Zechariah.
It is, right. You understand. You understand.
The word Jewish is not
you understand that most translations translate that as Jewish, right?
The King James does not translate.
On what basis do you know the King James is right?
What, now he want to go to something else. He gonna be wrong.
No, I don't even know. Why? On what basis do you accept that?
Because of where the King James is translated from.
Oh, from British kings? Do you accept British kings?
No, it's not translated.
Do you accept British kings, my brother?
Hey, this is your scholar. This is your scholar.
Oh, you accept a British? You accept? Do you accept a British king?
If you know anything about kings, kings don't do work; they give work. So King James.
I know that.
Okay. So how did it? Then
why do you accept his authoritative translation, though? That's what I'm asking you.
Okay. Again, I answered that question already.
No, you didn't.
Because yes, I did. I said I accept the King James because of where it was translated from. It was translated from the Masoretic text, which uses the Aleppo and the Leningrad, I believe, as the translated from, which is older than the King James. So when you ask me what I use, that's what I use. And so the King James translation, which does not have the word Jewish in Zechariah 8:23, would be older than any modern translation that tries to put the word Jewish in there. So
hold on. You understand? You know what the historicist fallacy? The fact that it's older doesn't mean anything. That's a fallacy. That's a fallacy. You don't even know what a fallacy is. The fact that it's older doesn't mean anything.
Hold on. Jay hasn't got to give his introduction yet, and you guys are starting in arguments. So can we give the floor to Jay to introduce himself and let him know let everyone know his position and background and stuff? Thanks.
Right, the New Testament, by the way, that comes down to us that's used in the...
Go ahead, Jay, double mute. So we're going to give Jay the floor. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, the New Testament texts that are used in the Orthodox Church are the received texts. Those are the texts that are the basis for the King James when it translates the New Testament. The fact that the King James relies on, in part, the Masoretic text for the Old Testament really has nothing to do with today's debate because it depends on whether you're a Christian or not. The Christians of the early church, particularly the New Testament writers, Paul, for the most part, predominantly use the Septuagint, which is what the Orthodox Church uses. But it doesn't matter either way because I don't know if this is your position, but other Black Hebrew Israelites that I've heard, they actually think the word Jewish means kind of. Like I'm gay-ish, sort of gay, but not totally gay. That's not what the word Jewish means. That's a super dumb low IQ move if that's what you think. I don't know if that's your position, but to think that the word Jewish it means something totally different than a collection of Jews and their beliefs is ridiculous and utterly absurd. You said that the tribe of Judah in the Old Testament, and then you said that the word Jewish is not in the Old Testament. Well, in this translation, it is in the Old Testament. So now you're going to have to justify which translation you use. I didn't hear any justification for that. I heard that the King James is older. That's a fallacy. It's called the historicist fallacy. The fact that something's older has nothing to do with whether it's true or false. It might be true. It might be false. But being older has absolutely nothing to do with it. It doesn't prove anything. It's called a historicist fallacy. Beyond that, Paul says in Romans 3 that Jews of the Old Testament had the oracles of God committed to them. Jesus says in John 4, salvation is of the Jews against the Samaritans and the Samaritan woman. So these are just some basic introductory texts that even boxing, I think, would know correctly, totally refutes everything that your cult started with and has made up It's a totally invented thing in the last, I don't know, 100 years, I think it was the first ruminations of this sect popping up. Has no connection whatsoever with history or reality. You have no basis to say that you prefer the King James text, other than that you had some idea about something being older and these texts that you think are older. But older doesn't mean anything. The Hebrew texts are older than you, and they don't back up you. They back up our position. So older, if we want to go to ancient Jewish texts, have nothing to do with the modern African slave trade. They're not about that. Deuteronomy is not about that. This is just ludicrous.
Hey, Randy, I just want to ask Jay a question just before I respond. Jay, you made a point to say your position. So I know boxing's position. So because I initially thought it was just between my side and boxing side, what is your position so I can know what what I'm attacking on you? You haven't established, because you brought up Romans 8 and you
Orthodox. I'm an Orthodox Christian. I said Romans 3.
You brought out Romans 3. But what is your position that I'm going to contend with? You're saying what? You believe that what the Bible is for everybody? Like, what is your? Because I'm assuming that's your position as a Christian.
I believe Orthodox Christianity is the true church, and I believe that Orthodox Christianity is the successor to the Old Testament promises.
Gotcha. So if I'm battling you, specifically you and your side, it would be like, God loves everybody. And I would say, no, he doesn't. You would say, yes, he does. Right?
What?
Yeah, we believe God loves everyone. Sure.
Right. Meaning like Christ. I'll be more specific.
Hold on.
Wait, boxing. I'm just trying.
You're missing
boxing.
the point.
Boxing. I know your point. I just want to know what his agenda is, so I can know what I'm responding to. That's all I'm trying to lay out.
Orthodox Christianity. So I don't know if you know, but the Eastern Orthodox Church. And by the way, I forgot to mention the book of Maccabees mentions the religions of the religion of the Jews as well.
So let me make it more specific. You believe that Jesus died for all nations that believe on him, right?
Yes, sure.
Okay, I don't. So I just wanted. So when I speak to you, I know I'll be speaking to you from that lens. I know when I'm speaking to boxing, I'll be speaking from that lens. I want Tazaryach, who's on my side as well, I want him to speak, but I just want to clarify just two things. Number one, when I said the King James was older, that's not what I said. What I said was where they got it translated from was older.
It wouldn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Jay, I didn't interrupt you. I let you go. You misquoting me. The only reason I'm clearing this up is because you said I said the King James was older. That's not what I said.
No, the text that it relies on. I know what you said. The text that it relies on is older.
Don't try to when you got to,
because that's the argument I was making.
You know you're getting when you have to interrupt somebody when I'm just clearing up what you said about me. That
no,
mean
you just didn't understand the argument.
I did. Why you can't just be quiet? You're hurt. You're misquoting
me. Because you can't have a conversation about it.
I am having a conversation about it.
No, then you should let me explain what I meant, that I wasn't misunderstanding.
You did.
All you can do is fucking fuss, dude. You can't even argue.
What did I say? What did I say the King James was translated from?
You said the text that it came from are older. It doesn't matter.
It
won't matter whether you're talking about either one.
What was it that I said it translated from?
How does this avoid the historical fallacy?
Because when you ask me why do we follow the King
James,
it's
ask. ASK. There's no X. It's ask, not X.
Now you saying that I can't battle, but now you're being cynical. So now you asked me where it was translated from. I gave you 3 names that it was translated from. What were those 3 names? You mentioned 3 textual traditions. Which were?
I don't remember what you said, but it doesn't matter because you said it's older.
Here's why that matters.
You said the Masoretic and something else, and it won't matter because it's
exactly. And those.
Do you even understand the argument?
I just want to finish.
You're trying to reply to an argument that you don't understand.
I'm not replying to an argument. I'm replying to a question that you asked. There's a difference.
It's asked with an S, ASK.
You said, why do we follow the King James? And I answered it. And because I said...
Your answer was a fallacy. You don't understand that?
Okay, then disprove that where the King James translates from...
It doesn't matter. That's why you don't even understand what the fallacy... You don't understand the argument.
Where you saying that word Jewish is in Zechariah 8:23, because in the Hebrew or the Greek, the word Jewish is not in Zechariah 8:23, and that's how we got here, because you was trying to correct me and you were incorrect.
You don't even understand what a historical fallacy is. So how are you going to make this argument or reply to it? It doesn't matter which... You just keep talking because you can't understand the argument. I'm sorry that you can't.
I don't have a problem being quiet. I'm gonna lay out the point of contention. I'll gladly give you.
Because you're not answering the objection because you don't understand the fallacy.
See how I just said I'm gonna lay out the point of contention.
Can you even tell me what a historical fallacy is? What that fallacy is?
So now,
what's the historical fallacy? What's a historicist fallacy? You don't know.
I said, when you have your time to speak, you can say what you want. I'm just laying down the point of contention, and then you can respond.
The argument was you're making a fallacy. You don't know what the fallacy is.
The argument was that I said the word.
No, my argument against you. You don't have to rehearse the whole conversation. I was here for it. I remember it. The argument I made is that you committed a fallacy.
If you could just say that you made a mistake, we could just move forward.
My argument has not been addressed. I called you. I said you committed a fallacy. You don't know what a fallacy is. Do you know what a fallacy is?
You said the word Jewish is in the Old Testament, yes or no? As a Christian, you should tell the truth, right? Did you not say the word Jewish was in the Old Testament, yes or no?
It is in the Old Testament. Okay. Because the significance of the word can be the meaning of that term. You don't even understand the meaning of the word. You think that it means like Jewish, like kind of.
I was the one asking a question. He
asking questions.
Guys, I don't want to mute the room because it ruins the space, but trying to not talk over each other, that'd be great.
I was the one asking.
What is a fallacy? Can you tell me what a fallacy is? Because I don't think you can debate if you don't even know what that is.
Well, clearly you can't debate if you can't.
So you don't know what a fallacy is. So you don't know what you don't know the basic rules of logic, and you're here to debate.
Here's what I like to do.
What's a fallacy?
I'm read it for you.
What's a fallacy?
I'm about to read it.
Oh, you Googled it. You Googled it?
All I'm about to do is read it for you.
Because you Googled it, so you didn't know. What? So you yapping while you Google it. Keep yapping and keep Googling. Can you Google fast enough? Keep yapping.
I want everybody to pay attention. He says I can't battle or debate. He's the only one ad hominem. He's talking about the way.
No, I'm just making jokes because I'm making jokes because this is a circus.
I don't want to mute the stage. But you're the only joke on here because when we go through this word Jewish, you're going to be wrong.
I showed you, and you can't give me a basis. I showed you in Zechariah 8.
In Hebrew translates to Jewish in Zechariah 8 and 23.
Yeah, correct. And you don't know. You have no basis for. You have no basis for which translation is better.
All I'm gonna do.
You're so emotional. Listen to you. You don't even know what a fallacy is. You had to Google it live.
Here's the Hebrew word for Jew in Zechariah 8 and 23. This is the word.
Oh, so now you're a Hebrew scholar.
H3064. Yehudi. It says Jew, Judah.
That means people who are Jewish. You didn't know that.
Once again.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that. That's what the word Jewish means. The word Jewish refers to those people. You're this stupid.
Once again.
You don't know that.
The argument that I made that you responded to. So, for example,
you don't know that the word Jewish refers to those things.
The word Jewish. If I look up the word Jewish in the New Testament, in the Bible, there's one verse, Titus 1 and 14. It says, "Not giving heed to Jewish."
You are so dumb that you don't know that the word Jewish refers to the same thing. It's the same referent. You're that stupid. You are this stupid.
He can't admit that he tried to have a gotcha moment and was just wrong. Historical fallacy.
It's not wrong. You don't even know what the fallacy is.
I just want to read the definition.
You're making a basic you're making a grammar mistake. Do you understand this is a grammar mistake?
I'm not making a grammar
you are, because Jewish is the same thing. It means the same thing.
Here's my point of saying Jewish is not.
So you think Greeks? No. If I say the word Greeks, it doesn't refer to a person who's a Greek. That's how dumb you are. That's how dumb this is.
Here's my
does the word Greeks not refer to a Greek? Does the word Greeks?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, you're that dumb. You are. This is the dumbest argument I've ever had in my life. Greeks refers to a person who's a Greek. Jewish refers to a person who's a Jew.
Why can't I answer the question?
Because you don't understand what you're talking about. Like the words coming out of your mouth, you don't even know what you're saying. You just said Greeks doesn't refer to a Greek. That is so dumb.
It's not, because there's two type of Greeks. You can have Hellenized Greeks and you can have natural Greeks.
They're both Greeks. That proves the point. You can't even think through your sentences. You don't even understand the sentences you're making.
If you're not going to give,
dude, the whole chat is laughing at you. The whole chat is laughing at you, dude. You started with the race whining. You started with that.
If we have this conversation, I would not interrupt him.
You can't have a conversation because you can't argue at a basic level. You don't have basic critical thinking skills.
I have not been interrupting him.
Because you don't have basic critical thinking skills.
First of all, y'all put him in an argument that it was just between me and boxing according to Randy.
All you can do is No, I was invited here as a three-way debate. I was invited as a three-way debate. That's why I'm here.
Let me say something. Okay, ultimately, we're essentially arguing the same thing in this context because his religion doesn't exist if my premise is...
It's not a religion.
Whatever you fucking...
All right, this is a literal lunatic. This person doesn't even...
Yeah, this is
literally...
It's like...
This is a legit
lunatic. I want
lunatic.
y'all to pay attention, right? Because when I name...
You don't even know what the words you're saying mean.
I don't want nobody to say anything because I've been called a lunatic.
You are a lunatic. You ought to be called a lunatic.
I haven't called anybody out their name.
Yeah, you did. You whined about white privilege. What are you talking about?
Yeah, who cares? Okay, we're not sensitive to that, but like...
I'm not sensitive at all either, clearly.
Okay, all you done is whine.
Okay, but let me say something. Just hold on. You don't understand the premise. In other words, his religion, again, we could dispute, I guess, the New Testament and like the belief in Jesus with the quote unquote imposter Jews, which I guess you could define us as, doesn't exist unless my premise is correct. So this is why it's not a three-way debate. We're arguing history and not. Your whole religion is based off of linguistic fallacies.
Exactly.
And essentially, it's all historical fallacies because you're connecting dots that don't exist. It's literally like based off. No. I'm saying this is what it is. So and then you.
I said got you. I didn't say anything wrong. I said got you.
Let me just finish up. So you're using terms linguistically incorrect in modern English and also in historical languages to then create a narrative, which to me or Jay or other people is just not there. Okay. Okay.
So boxing, I appreciate you saying that. The linguistic part, Captain Tazaryach, I wouldn't say that I'm using a linguistic argument because just like you said, you're not fluent in the. You
literally sat here arguing linguistics. All right, I'm out. I'm out of here. This is the dumbest thing I've ever been a part of. This is so stupid. Oh my gosh. He sat here arguing linguistics for 30 minutes. I am making a linguistic argument. I can't do it. I'm out. That's unreal. We got super chats. I got like a bunch of notes. I'm ready to go into Old Testament texts, and I mean we're like at fourth grade. Okay, so forget all the arguments I had. All these notes I got out here. So that ain't going nowhere. I can't do that. That's just too low tier. If I stay in there, it's just going to be yelling and arguing, and you're not dealing with a person who has basic critical thinking. So I don't see any point in staying in that. This is not a coherent person. I mean, this is what you get with Black Hebrew Israelite. It's an insane cult. I mean, to rehearse the point here, the word Jewish is used there because it's referring to those people. And the word Jewish, like the word Greeks, is just referring to groups of people, obviously. Everyone in the chat can see that. Now, I did a stream analyzing Black Hebrew Israelite theology a while back. And if you remember, one of their, quote, bishops said that Jewish, they actually think that means like ish, like kinda, right? Like he's... what's an ish word that I'm thinking of like this, right? This is how dumb this is. Not Greek-ish. they actually think that it means like there's Jews and then there's those who are Jewish, right? Like kinda, but not really. That's how stupid they are. Like that they don't understand that the word Swedish. Exactly. They're Swedes, and then there's this other group of people that live there that are Swedish. They're not really Swedes, right? I'm not joking. There's Poles, and then you got people who are Polish. I mean, this is how stupid we're talking about. And I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not mean to just sit here and say that some people are stupid. There's fools who are foolish. So no, I by the way, I agreed to a three-way debate. So I didn't like coming there and it being like, oh, this is a two-way debate and you sit and listen. Sit and listen. to this madness? Are you kidding? I can't do that. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Total waste of time. But anyway, no. So the word is the word used in Zechariah is there because it's talking about a Jewish man. What's a Jewish man? A man who is a Jew. It means the same thing. No, it don't. No, it don't. Yes, it does. Greeks are the same thing as a Greek. No, because there's different types of Greeks. If they're both Greeks, even if they're Hellenic Greeks or they're non-Hellenic Greeks, they're both Greeks. So the text has translated that. It doesn't matter whether it says the sleeve of a Jew or a Jewish man. It means the same thing. That's how silly this is. And by the way, Maccabees, I just remembered, does mention these things. Now he's going to say, I don't accept them books. You don't accept those books? Well, on what basis do you not accept those books? That's why I was going to the historical fallacy, because he said the texts that the King James uses are older. So, how do we know that just because something is older, it's therefore true? I mean, ancient Hindu texts are really old. They're older than the Masoretic text, probably. Does that make them true because they're older? I mean, this is the fallacy. It's historical fallacy, right? But now there is, in Maccabees, which is the Old Testament, the many mentions of Jews, as well as, I'm pretty sure, the Jewish. Because they sign, the Maccabees make a deal with the Jews. After they draw up a constitution, and it talks about the Jews. So anybody who's read Maccabees knows this. I'm trying to find the chapter of the Constitution they drew up. So this is just talking to complete just idiots. I'm sorry. It's just that way. Like, this domain out here is full of. By the way, doesn't Esther mention the Jews? Pretty sure Esther does too. Yes, Esther. Esther mentions the Jews, the word Jew. And he even said, Yehuda, the people of the tribe of Yehuda. Guess what the word Jew means? Yehuda. It's the Jews, Judeans. So when he opened his statement, his opening statement was, you don't find Jewish in the Old Testament. And then he talked about the Old Testament tribes of Judah. He contradicted himself in his opening statement. That's how stupid this is. And the book of Esther mentions the Jews constantly. So this is just so stupid. These people have never read the Old Testament. I mean, if they had read it, they would know that. Where is the Constitution text? It's been a few years since I read Maccabees. But they draw up a constitution. I think it's at the end of 2nd Maccabees. Because they talk about the Romans. They make a deal with the Romans. Oh, what do you know? Nehemiah 5:1. Against their Jewish brethren. Nehemiah 5:8. Esther 6. Oh, look at that. I mean, because the translation is just reflecting the Jewish people. Nehemiah 5:8. According to our ability, we have the ability to redeem our Jewish brethren. Esther 6:13. Jewish descent. Jeremiah 34:9. Jewish brethren bondage. Zechariah 8:23. Taking hold of sleeve of a Jewish man. So, yeah, this is ludicrous.